Hey kid, wanna siege a castle? What's up? Today we got another video. Hey kid, wanna siege a castle? We already said it, obviously. It's by Historically. I quite enjoyed these videos. I don't know if I've done one on the channel so far though. I think this might be the first one. If I'm not, let me know down in the comments. But we're gonna get into it. This is pretty fun. Let's do it. Since we're keeping with the theme of medieval castles and stuff for these morning videos. Go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe. Let's get it.
Hey, focus, my king. You see the king on the castle over there? He called your castle a keep so weak, even serfs laugh when they pass it. I know,
Serfs
truly
laugh?
the most devastating insult of
Oof.
the 13th century. Right after, your
Y'all
moat
got
is just a
serfs laughing,
glorified
bro?
puddle. Naturally, in classic medieval logic, we resolve this with prolonged suffering. For everyone.
Okay.
Because sieging a castle isn't a fun afternoon activity where you throw your army at the walls and shout, go! No, sieging is chess with dysentery. Siege is a stupid game by Ubisoft. It's horrible. Pardon my speech, my lord. So, how does a king with 1,000 men take a fortress defended by 1,000 more? Ethically, you don't. The odds are basically infinitely stacked against your favor. Even the most addicted gamblers won't hit on these odds. Luckily, the Geneva Convention has
Crazy.
yet to be hosted, so we got
Low-key.
plenty of options to make life for those behind these cold stone walls a literal hell. Now, as a ruler of great wisdom and taste, you obviously know how to siege a castle. But, just to jog your memory, allow me to present a few
Of course we do.
historically certified methods to
Got
expand
Princess
your
Peach over
real
there.
estate portfolio. Historically Facts, Part 10.
Part
The
10.
human body can last around 3 weeks
Oh, this is
without
only their
food.
10th video.
So if we just block their supplies, they will surrender within a month,
Or at least
right?
for this series.
Wrong. You'll be amazed how much grain, meat, salted fish, and weird medieval pickled stuff they have crammed into those walls. Most castles have as much food stacked up that they could survive up to 30 weeks of siege, easily.
30
this
weeks?
is annoying.
That's like how
because
many
every
months?
week you have to wait for them to starve. You
That's
also
like
gotta
8
keep
months.
your army well fed and entertained yourself. Sieging a castle and then choosing to starve them out is essentially a game of bluff. Who can stay longer? Good luck with that, by the way. Since your
Staying
army
power.
is made out of mostly farmers, most of them within a week will urge to go back home to their crops. Especially if the siege takes months, which is common, it basically means the farmers will lose their entire crop produce. At that point, your frustrated soldiers will start deserting left and right. And the moment your army looks weak, the castle doors will slam open, and the enemy
Oh.
will strike you at your most vulnerable.
Oh,
It's no surprise that the siege of Kenilworth in 1266 went so wrong. The royal army tried starving out the rebels for 6 entire months. And did they surrender? Nope. The defenders built fish ponds, had their own mills, and were basically
Interesting.
vibing, while King Henry III's army
said
was
vibing?
busy catching dysentery in the mud. Eventually,
That's crazy.
the attackers had to give up.
He really
because,
got it out the
plot
mud.
twist, they were the ones starving. Incredible strategy.
That's
Truly.
crazy.
Starving yourself outside someone else's house. Worst yet, all
That's
the
crazy.
farmers hate you now. Because A, they died, and B, even worse, their crops are gone. So their family will die of starvation next.
That's
Oh well,
crazy.
just another Tuesday in the Middle Ages. But fret not, my king. When starvation fails,
So annoying.
return to humanity's second favorite method. Run at enemy and hit it till it moves no more. This is the classic option. You know it, I know it. The people back home in the tavern already have money
Literally
on how
up the
many of
stick.
your soldiers are
Except
going
it's
to
an
get
actual
kebabbed
stick.
on a pike.
Just a sharp one.
Storming a castle is the equivalent of telling your army, hey, go fight a bear in a phone booth, and by the way, the bear has boiling oil, crossbows, boulders, and a personal grudge. Wait, phone booths don't exist yet.
Boy, it had oil?
Anyway, storming sounds heroic. Flags waving, ladders slamming onto stone,
Snails and
horns
ladders.
blaring, but in reality,
Wanna play
it's
eels
one
and
of the
escalators?
fastest ways to mulch your army. First problem, walls. Big,
Walls?
fat medieval
No,
walls
that was
designed to
crazy. You said
survive
funded by
literal
Mexico?
centuries of war. You can't exactly run up to them and politely knock. Second problem,
Why not?
high ground. Archers will turn your
I have
men
the high
into
ground.
percussions before they even get close. And third problem, morale.
Okay.
Nothing drains morale like watching your friend try to climb a ladder only to get yeeted off by a boulder the size of his
Low
hopes
key.
and dreams. So what do we do to make this suck
That does
slightly
kill
less?
morale.
Well,
Like the
we
first guy, I
start
keep
with
saying
siege
this.
ladders.
Because I saw this one video that I was recommended the mentality of like the first person to climb a siege ladder, because like that guy has to know, he has to be the most down for the cause guy ever, because he knows he's not making it up that ladder. He has to know. Excuse me. Or maybe they just don't know. Maybe they just don't talk about what happens to the guys on the siege ladders. Maybe like if he's been in a battle, right? There's probably typically more experienced people, like they've been in battles, so they see what happens when the first person's up on the siege. I don't know, but all I know is that it takes heart. Not a lot of people could be the first up the ladder.
Simple planks with hooks on top. Effective, unless your men are too slow or the defenders are too ready. Then you have siege towers. Giant
The
mobile
siege
buildings
towers.
rolled on wheels towards the walls. Sounds cool, right?
Siege towers had to be
Until
one of
it
the
gets stuck in
coolest
a ditch,
things.
and the enemy sets it on fire with flaming arrows and
Never
the doors
mind.
jam. What a beautiful, very expensive, flammable car.
No, but structurally it's so cool. Like you just have a bunch of, it's like a moving building. Like that's so cool.
We are not overcompensating, like putting
I want to see more
sweaty,
things like
beefy
that in a
guys
modern
under
day,
wooden
but like
turtle
an
shells,
amusement
swinging a
park
log
or something.
at a steel
A
reinforced
moving
gate while
building
arrows rain down on
park.
it. If they get lucky, they will
That'd be
break
cool.
through, and if they don't, well, at least they died knowing their king really, really wanted that door open. Historically, storming had about a
Nah, it's
30% success rate, because while the defenders are comfortable, dry, and motivated, your boys are slipping in blood, mud, and existential dread. But
Yikes.
sometimes you don't want to wait or waste men. You just want the walls gone. So let's talk about bringing them down. Siege
Okay.
engines. Time to bring out the big toys. These
Okay.
aren't your average battering sticks. These are the power tools of medieval home demolition. Trebuchets, ew, no, and ballistae. Each one proves
Oh.
that if humanity can't solve a problem, we will launch something heavy at it until it goes away. First up, the
Low key.
trebuchet, the undisputed champion,
remember the trebuchets.
playground bully of siege warfare. Powered by pure gravity and medieval spite. It flings
Boom.
90-kilogram boulders over 300 meters like it's skipping stones. Rocks?
That's lit.
Sure. Deceased corpses? Absolutely. A barrel of insults tied to a goat? If you can fit it in the sling, go
That's
for
crazy.
it. Seriously.
They'll
In you
launch
go,
anything.
guys.
I remember
Best
they
of
put the
luck.
flaming, the gasoline rocks in there.
Dude, not my
the
sponsor
flaming rocks
segment.
with the
Psych, gotta pay the
oil on it.
bills. I got another one for you. War Thunder is the
slick.
most comprehensible vehicle combat game ever made, and
Hey,
it's
was
available for free on
just a
PC,
random ad
consoles,
just
and
dropped
mobile.
in here?
Command over 2,500 tanks, aircraft,
That was literally just
helicopters, and
dropped in.
warships from. Now, my lord, before
That
you
was
say,
literally
"But
just
what
dropped
about
in."
the catapult?" First of
That
all,
wasn't subtle or anything.
secondly, nobody was actually using what Hollywood calls a catapult. The word itself is ancient Greek, and sure, there
Okay.
were early torsion-based engines with that name. But
Okay.
by the times castles were popular, those things were long gone. Too weak, too short
Lemon
range,
grab? Why does it
too
look like lemon
embarrassing
grab?
to show up with. Walking up to a 40-foot high wall with a tiny tension-powered arm flinger is like trying to knock down a brick house by angrily tossing teacups. The trebuchet replaced it for a good couple reasons. Better range, better payload, better chaos, better
Yeah,
memes.
trebuchet is
And
on
then
point.
there's the ballista. Not so much a siege weapon as a statement of intent. The ballista didn't knock down your walls. It didn't fling rotting cows. It didn't
let
do
you know.
theatrics. What it did
Send a
was
message.
point silently with a giant wooden finger that launched 6-foot iron bolts at whatever it was mad at that day. The ballista wasn't for stone. It was for people, generals,
Yo.
messengers, that one unlucky archer who thought he was safe behind the battlement. It was the
Yo.
assassin of siege engines. While
Ballistas
trebuchets
are-
were lobbing chaos into courtyards, the ballista was aiming. One shot, one terrified soul yeeted into the afterlife, like a poorly written side
Ballistas are
You didn't need 10
demon
of them.
time.
You just needed one, visible on the horizon, silent, loaded.
Pulled up like, hey, who
waiting.
wants it?
didn't
Who's
need
trying to get
fire
that smoke?
cause fear. It just needed to exist. Most of the time, siege engines were
People got,
psychological
yeah, that's
weapons.
pressure
A
right there. That's
trebuchet
applying
wasn't
hockey.
just a weapon,
Like you
it
just
was a
had the
message.
ballista on the field. Honestly, like I don't want nobody upping a ballista at me. That's pressure right there. That's hockey. I do not want anybody upping no ballista in my face. That's a threat enough.
I am willing to spend 3 weeks building this thing just to ruin your
3
week.
weeks?
Of course, that is if the defenders let you build it in peace, which they won't. They'll sally out at night. They will sabotage.
Steal
and
your
worst of
wood.
all, they will mock you.
Why are they
So maybe
building
it's
it on
time for
site?
a sneakier approach.
I guess it's
Undermining.
easier to
Yes,
transport.
I'm talking about digging tunnels under castle walls. Because
If they
what's
just
better way
transport
to
the
deal
wood
with a giant
and then
stone
build it on
structure
site,
than
it's
crawling
easier, I
under
guess.
them like medieval termites. The
Then
goal
trying to
is
wheel it
simple.
out in there.
Dig under the wall, prop it up with wooden beams, then set those beams on fire. If
Mm.
everything goes well, the fire weakens the support and the tunnel collapses. And crash, there goes the wall. Sounds clever, right? And it worked. Sometimes. Like during the siege of Rochester in 1215.
That had to be
King
crazy
John,
to be on
yes,
one of
got
those
one
walls
from
thinking
Robin
that
Hood,
like you're
and
safe, you're
undermined the
chilling,
corner
and
of
then
the
this
keep
junk
by
just
burning
collapses
Fat Pig
under
the
you.
props. The wall tower collapsed. Brilliant stuff. But this
Crazy.
method also wasn't flawless.
Minecraft.
Tunnels took weeks to dig. They were often discovered and countermined. And even if they weren't,
funny.
collapsing a wall segment doesn't guarantee victory. You still have to rush through that hole and, surprise, the enemy probably built a second wall behind it. Medieval architects were petty like that. At this point, my king, you might be thinking,
Build a
isn't
second
there an easier way? Yes. Be terrible. Let's talk about biological warfare.
Oh, no.
Castles were full of people.
No, yeah, they
People with
poison people.
Immune systems, or lack
And sick-
thereof. So
sickness.
when things got
America's the
desperate,
king of
or when
that.
you were just feeling creative, you threw in
Yep.
disease.
The
Dead
disease.
animals, rotting corpses, poop. Lots of poop. That wasn't just spite, it was strategy. Contaminate their water supply. Bring them around. You don't need a sword. Dysentery kills them first. This tactic was used in sieges from the ancient world to the Renaissance. In 1346, the Mongols catapulted plague-infected bodies into the city of Kaffa. Days later, the defenders began dying. Some historians even suggest that this outbreak helped spark the spread of the Black Death.
That's so
in Europe.
crazy.
So yes, medieval
Y'all
siege
catapulting
warfare could
bodies,
have
bro?
accidentally caused the apocalypse.
Ugh.
Whoops. But let's say you're not into all of that. You still want to be
That's
a
what happens when
good
people just
king.
doing stuff out of
You
spite,
want
bro.
to win clean,
No limits.
honorably, with a bit of finesse. In that case, allow me to introduce you to espionage.
I thought
That's
he was
right.
about to use
Spies,
a.
bribery, betrayal.
I thought he was about to
Sometimes the
use
best way to take a
another ad
castle
plug.
Isn't over the walls. It's through the people inside. Maybe a servant opens the gate. Maybe
Yep.
a guard is paid to forget to
So
lock
let me
something.
in.
Or maybe someone just really hates their lord and hands you the keys. If you have a siege
Okay.
planned, a day before you arrive with your army, have a small group of mercenaries act as merchants in the city. And when the time comes, cause a small rebellion and open the gates from within. This is also how Edward I took Stirling Castle. Not with a siege, but by bribing someone to sneak them in. It's also how countless other castles fell throughout history. Because
Yeah.
when you are locked in with no escape, it only takes one disgruntled cook to turn the tide of the war.
Low
I mean,
key.
there is another way to take a castle. Just lie. Yes, tell them you have more
More
troops
are
on the
coming.
way. Tell them you will leave if he opens the gate. Tell them their
Ah.
wife is pregnant with your child. Siege warfare is
Yikes.
and war is theater. Psychological manipulation is cheaper than trebuchets, faster than tunnels, and less smelly than cow corpses. Of
Psychological
course, if you really want to be successful, don't stick to one technique. Starve them out. Throw your men at them at the same time. And mine below the castle for those diamonds, while you throw deceased cows over the walls. If you are going to commit a war crime, why stop at one? Your trip to hell is already booked anyway. Better make it really worth it. So let's pause here
Low
for
key.
a royal
If
sip
you're
of
already
poisoned
doing all of
wine.
this,
I mean celebration. By now, my king,
You
have
might as well
tried
finish
starving
it.
them, ramming them,
I'm just
bombing
kidding.
them, crawling under them, infecting them, lying to them, and bribing them. You have used every page of the medieval war playbook.
Everything.
And yet, they might still not surrender. Because
Bruh.
here's the thing about siege
Not the
warfare that no
calendar,
one tells
bruh.
you.
The
It's not
medieval
about winning
calendar.
quickly. It's about making the other guy lose the will to resist. It's not the ladder or the sword that breaks them. It's the drip of water through a leaky roof.
Yep.
The rats in the grave.
always-
The 19th day without proper sleep. The priest
Yep.
whispering doubt and the letter from home that never came. A castle
Yep,
falls. when
literally.
the
Like I'm always saying, like whenever I'm watching like these survival shows and stuff like that, like it's never the lack of food and stuff like that, and like the threat of whatever, right? It's like the thing that, like, if you've ever seen Naked and Afraid, the thing that always gets people, like 80% plus percentage of the time, is the little bugs and like water. If they're wet and there's like a little bit of bugs, bro, just consider it cooked. It's over. They're not sleeping. They're getting picked at all night, and they're probably gonna be out within a couple of days, bro. If that.
where it cracks. And sometimes that takes longer than you expected. So now we wait. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you stop pretending that there is still a line to cross. Maybe you step beyond the edge and leave humanity behind. Take hostages. Take the old,
Oh
the
no,
sick,
not the
the
kids.
children.
No, bro,
Display them
nah.
where the defenders can see.
Nah.
No words, just silence. Let
Nah,
their eyes
bro.
carry the message. Then do what cannot be undone. Slowly, painfully, publicly. So the screams crawl up the
Nah, that's
walls
evil,
and
bro.
nest inside every
That's so
soldier's skull.
evil.
Still no surrender? Then drag the other villagers forward. The same ones their lord swore to protect. The same ones the soldiers on the wall are family of. Line them up. Burn their
Whoa.
fields and homes while they watch. Salt the earth. Collapse
This
their
got
wells.
so dark.
Make them scream. This isn't strategy anymore. This is legacy. You're going
Nah.
to make them experience how it is to lose everything. Not just land, not just life, but hope. And when
Why do
the
you
last
even
gate
wanna do
creaks
that?
open, not in
You
surrender,
really want that
but in
castle that
despair,
bad?
you will
Why?
walk through. Not as a king, but as the story they will never tell their children. No flag will rise, no bards will sing, only smoke, only silence. And in that silence, they will all understand. You are death incarnate. Oh yeah, and,
Yikes.
don't forget to check out today's sponsor, War Thunder.
That
Make sure
was-
to click the link in the description to claim a massive
Alright.
bonus pack, which includes multiple premium vehicles, an exclusive
This is
vehicle
dark.
decorator.
That was cool though. That was cool. I like that. I like that. But dang, that was didn't expect that out of this video. I'm not gonna lie. That took a turn. But hey, that being said, let me know what y'all think about it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and go ahead and follow me. Follow me historically, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this because I enjoy watching them. Bye.